What's going on, guys? It's Justice here, and I just thought I'd touch on the roadmap for RuneScape Dragonwilds and the future updates that are due to be released in the game. There isn't any timescales on this, but once Easter break is over, I am expecting some updates from Jaix in terms of how the game has landed with the community and the new player base, maybe how many new players have entered Ashenfall. Maybe some stats on kills, deaths, people completing certain things, how many items have been gathered, maybe total skills, maybe total experience across the community, things like that would be really fun to see. But I'm also expecting some updates, maybe some greater details on maybe future patches, maybe immediate hotfixes or improvements they plan to make. But due to the tons of feedback that's probably flooding them right now through their Discord channel, through the survey that they put out. But before I'll add that to the video if that does get released before I upload this. But let's touch on some of the major updates that they've already confirmed. So a brand new region. It does feel like this game has a lot of potential just to be continuously expanded out by region, and those will be almost like mini expansions or mini maybe DLCs. Maybe mini is the wrong word. Like they literally could just approach that like a DLC. The next confirmed region is Fell Hollow, and there will be a dragon, the Soul Eater and Maru. This zone sounds really cool. It sounds like it's going to have an undead vibe. We read the description. Fell Hollow is a region suspended between life and death. It's ruled over by the Soul Eater dragon Imaru, who is twisted by the wild anima of Ashenfall and the cursed energy of the underworld, hence kind of being in between those two states. A well-known RuneScape character, Death, will guide and task players, but be warned, ghosts, skeletons, and undead ogres are abound. The undead ogres sounds really cool. There's also kind of a link to new monsters. It says here over on the right-hand side, there's going to be a new enemy type, lesser dragons. So maybe some of our like dragon equipment will be really good against that enemy type. They've already said that they want different weapons to be better against different enemies. I think in general, when I duo this game right now, it feels fairly easy combat-wise. Definitely have died here and there, so like hardcore mode would really feel hardcore because of the various different events and randomized events that happen where you are hunted by different mobs, etc. And the guru can be quite dangerous if you don't have anti-poison potions, for example, against the druids. But in general, yeah, pretty excited to see some new enemy types. It is fairly scarce at the moment, but it's not like there's a huge amount of zones. They can add a lot to that. I think they can add a lot more to the vault and maybe vary up the enemies within the vaults, because right now every single zone has very similar enemies in terms of the mobs, the vault mobs, the vault guards, the hulks, the caster mobs, and the vault overlords. They're all fairly similar, so I think they could vary that up quite a bit as well to add more variety. But the latest vault that I did in the Highlands really took it to the next level in terms of the kind of scale within that vault, especially when you went out into kind of the cave area where it really opened up. It looked beautiful, and I feel like there's a lot of potential they can do with those internal areas. They really do feel like dungeons, feel like mini dungeons, and there's a lot they can do with that. I like the trap aspect to them as well. The various traps you have to dodge. You can get overrun in there. Luckily, me and Chewy make a pretty good team in there, and we can really lure them in. You need a good exit strategy just in case you do get overrun. But in general, yeah, it's not too bad in there, and it feels pretty good. Overall immersion's really nice. We've got new skills, obviously. We've got magic and ranged. So right now, magic and ranged is in the skill tab, but you currently can't train them up. Funnily enough, though, if you do complete the master story quest, you do get a tome that allows you to level those two skills up to level 20. So we're already ready for when the new additions come out and the new progression path comes out for magic and ranged. But that did feel like the waterfall quest from the main game, so that was pretty awesome. It looks like farming is going to be released as the next new skill in the interface with a load with that. Can't wait for that. I think this game really caters to farming. It's a very immersive game. You can imagine going and gathering the different animals, maybe breeding those animals. You've got an entire dinosaur area in the modern version of the main retail version of RuneScape. So yeah, I mean, maybe there's going to be a zone full of dinosaurs, I don't know, and you can go and capture them. But in general, as a starting point, you can definitely imagine farming all of your cattle up, your cows and everything for some food produce to get your cooking going. You've got some pigs you could get in there. You've got your chicken farm, maybe bee farming, get some honey as ingredients. There's a lot you could do with farming, and, you know, build all your fences, just really expand it out. You could almost cover, you know, you could almost have like, you know, if you've got like a server with a few mates, you could have the whole starting zone as a farmland. Like, it would really cater to farmland. So I really like that. The weather conditions as well, the dynamic weather conditions are fantastic in this game. Really, again, caters to that farming feel. Rain coming down, allowing those crops to grow. It's really fertile land. It's fantastic for farming. I feel like I'm in a pretty good place to talk about the roadmap and the future updates, with me completing the master story quest now, as well as pretty much all the side quests except for Restless Ghosts, where I have to go and find all the ghosts. So I've done all the quest lines. I've unlocked a ton of the end game gear and the masterwork weapons, and I've pretty much reached skill cap with every skill, which is currently level 50. Roughly, you know, anywhere between 40 to 50 in all the skills really at the moment. Construction definitely takes the longest, depending on how much building you do. Maybe there's a loophole around that though. Cooking definitely seems to be the fastest, because you can just set yourself up with a bunch of campsites and just cook and just boil a ton of water and just superheat, use the superheat magic skill, and just superheat those campfires, and you just rake in the experience. It's insanely fast. Really sticking to the RuneScape-esque aspect of the RuneScape concepts, where cooking was probably one of the easiest 99s that you could get back in the day, probably still is, and it was my very first 99 as well, funnily enough. But yeah, the skill caps are going to be raised, and a progression path with them. I do respect them not having it. I do respect them not allowing you to go straight to 99 instantly, because there is, you know, they wouldn't have had any. It allows them to think through that XP curve that people are on, as well as filling it in with meaningful unlocks to really help you feel that progression and improve the skill and how it feels to actually do that skill. Along with that, of course, will be new crafting tiers, which will impact gear once again. And they've also touched on new Dragon Slayer gear, which should go nicely with the Dragon Blight shield, which effectively is a DFS, a Dragonfire shield, which is in the main game. So lots to look forward to. I'm really looking forward to, of course, always performance improvements, although the game is running pretty damn well for me right now. I'm pretty happy with that. They've got a lot of hot fixes they need to make balancing. The dragon comes in way too much as well. And yeah, multiplayer and difficulty aspects, yeah, definitely need to sort out some scaling aspects to the game, I would say. And it would be fantastic to get some persistent servers on board as soon as possible, because I've done most of my playtime in Chewy's world as the host, and all of our stuff is in that world. And so, you know, I'm less inclined to go into my own world now. So it would be really nice to get some persistent worlds out there, so I could log into that world even if Chewy's not online. So hopefully we get that out soon. But yeah, let me know, guys, what you think to the game. I think it's in a really good state as early access, and hopefully they truly do develop it with the community taking on tons of feedback. There is so much potential they can do with this, just literally transposing a bunch of the RuneScape concepts and all of the quests that exist, and just put a different spin on it, the progression, the different zones that they can do inspired. I mean, maybe the zones could be completely new, which is what they've done here, which feels really good, but then just adding in there, beefing it up with all those RuneScape concepts is just going to make this a fantastic game. Let me know what you think if you played it, or if you've watched the vids, what you think from watching, but it's definitely worth it right now, I'd say. And yeah, thanks for watching. Make sure to like this video if you'd like to hear more about Dragonwilds, and I'll see you guys in the next video.